What happens when an object famous for destruction, a supermassive black hole, becomes a creator of stars? In a patch of space that looked empty, the Hubble telescope found something that didn't make any sense at first. A perfectly straight line of newborn stars stretching for 200,000 light-years. That's twice the size of our entire Milky Way galaxy. When astronomers first found it, their initial theory was spectacular. The wake of a runaway supermassive black hole, a monster weighing 20 million times more than our Sun, tearing through the cosmos. But hang on a minute. As it so often happens in space, the truth might be far more complicated, and the story of this cosmic scar is a perfect example of science in action. For astronomers, big discoveries don't always start with a eureka moment. Sometimes it begins with just confusion. That's exactly what happened to a team led by Yale astronomer Peter van Dokkum. While looking through old images from the Hubble Space Telescope, he saw something weird, a faint, perfectly straight line. To an untrained eye, it looked like a glitch. Digital space cameras are always getting hit by cosmic rays, which can leave streaks on an image, like a scratch on old film. It was so unusual that it was at first dismissed as just one of those imaging artifacts. But something about this streak was different. The team's curiosity took over, and they pointed the powerful Keck Observatory in Hawaii to get a better look. What they found wasn't an error, it was real. And the scale of it was staggering. This was a colossal trail of young, hot blue stars, stretching an unbelievable 200,000 light-years across the void. To put that into perspective, our entire Milky Way is only about 100,000 light-years across. This single line of stars was twice as wide as our whole galaxy. Something like this had simply never been seen before, anywhere in the universe. And at the very tip, leading the charge, seemed to be the culprit, an invisible monster on the loose. The team's first hypothesis was as incredible as it was terrifying. They were looking at the wake of a runaway supermassive black hole. This wasn't just any black hole. They estimated its mass at 20 million times that of our Sun. And it was moving fast, hurtling through space at about 1,600 kilometers per second. An object at that speed could get from the Earth to the Moon in just 14 minutes. But how does a supermassive black hole, the gravitational anchor of a galaxy, just get up and leave? The theory, which had been predicted for about 50 years but never confirmed with evidence, is incredibly violent. It all starts when two galaxies merge. Their central black holes spiral towards each other. If a third galaxy and its black hole enter the mix, the gravitational dance becomes chaotic. This three-body interaction can end with one of the black holes getting violently flung out of its home galaxy, like a stone from a slingshot. As this invisible monster plows through the thin gas between galaxies, its gravity and speed create a shockwave that compresses the gas, causing it to cool, collapse, and burst into a frenzy of star formation. As Peter van Dokkum described it, like the wake behind a ship, we're seeing the wake behind the black hole. This rogue black hole wasn't just a destroyer, it was a creator. The evidence seems strong, pointing to the first ever candidate for a runaway supermassive black hole. The announcement sent shockwaves through the astronomical community. It seemed to be a groundbreaking find that could prove a long-held theory. But science is all about skepticism and verification. And it wasn't long before other teams came forward with a different, and perhaps simpler, explanation. A study from researchers, including some from the Instituto de Astrofísica de Canarias, IAC, proposed a fascinating alternative. What if this wasn't a rampaging black hole at all? What if we were just looking at a very specific type of galaxy? A flat, disc-shaped galaxy without a central bulge that we happen to be seeing perfectly edge-on. Imagine looking at a dinner plate. Face on, it's a big circle. But if you turn it exactly to its side, all you see is a thin, straight line. The team argued this might be what Hubble saw. Galaxies like this are thought to exist, but seeing one so perfectly aligned from billions of light-years away would be an extraordinary coincidence. The theory was less sensational, but the more possibilities the team ruled out, the more they started to wonder if this was a cosmic illusion. So, which is it? An unprecedented runaway monster or an incredible cosmic coincidence? The scientific community has been hard at work trying to solve this puzzle. Before we dive into how they're cracking the case, if you enjoy exploring the biggest and most bizarre mysteries of our universe, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join us on our journey to the cosmic frontier. With two competing ideas on the table, the scientific community did what it does best. It scrutinized the data. The runaway black hole hypothesis was thrilling. At the very tip of the streak, there is a bright knot of gas, which the first team argued is the bow shock from the black hole slamming into the intergalactic gas. They also pointed out that the stars seem to get older the further you go down the tail, which is exactly what you'd expect from a moving object leaving a trail of starbirth behind it. But the other side had compelling points too. Proponents of the cosmic imposter theory argued that we should always consider the simplest explanation first, and a galaxy, even a rare one, is a simpler explanation than a complex three-body interaction that ejects a supermassive black hole. Researchers showed that the brightness, mass, and the motion of the stars in the streak were surprisingly consistent with the properties of a known type of thin, bulgeless galaxy. They compared it to a similar, closer galaxy called IC 5249 and found that they were extraordinarily similar. This newer interpretation began to gain traction, suggesting the streak wasn't the wake of a monster, but a galaxy in disguise. You might be wondering why astronomers are so invested in this debate. The reason is that either answer has profound implications for how we understand the universe. If this is confirmed to be a runaway supermassive black hole, it's monumental. It would be the first direct proof of a phenomenon that has only existed in theory for half a century. It would prove that galaxies can lose their central anchors and that black holes can be powerful engines of creation, seeding empty space with new stars. But even if it turns out to be the simpler option, a thin galaxy seen perfectly edge-on, it's still a huge win for astronomy. Such bulgeless, flat galaxies are rare, and finding such an extreme example so far away challenges our models of how galaxies form and hold their shape. It becomes an invaluable data point, an outlier that helps us refine our theories about the universe's architecture. There's no losing scenario here. Whatever this streak is, it's something special. The story of this 200,000 light-year-long streak is a perfect story of the scientific process itself. It began with an accidental observation that looked like an error. That led to a sensational theory about a rampaging monster, which was then challenged by a clever counter-argument involving a cosmic illusion. Now, the case sits before the powerful James Webb Space Telescope. With its unparalleled infrared vision, Webb has the power to analyze the object in incredible detail. Early observations with Webb have already added more pieces to the puzzle, examining the motion of gas at the tip of the streak to test the bow shock hypothesis. An answer seems to be getting closer. This cosmic scar reminds us that the universe is a dynamic and beautiful place, where even destructive forces can lead to creation. We started with a baffling image, and now have two incredible possibilities, each one pushing the boundaries of what we know. How odd and beautiful it is that these cosmic mysteries are the very reason we keep looking up. And as our telescopes get more powerful, one thing is for certain: the universe has many more surprises waiting for us in the dark.